Welcome back and welcome to AfterCLIMB. So today I'm going to talk about RMS WillCall. Now this is something we released in the fall of last year, and I did a recording at that time and announced it. We made a lot of changes to it since that day, and so I want to readdress it because this is a free application. It's part and parcel. If you're an RMS customer, this belongs to you, and you can start using it at any time. So first of all, it's a web-based application. So no software gets installed on your system, but it interfaces to your system. So I have it bookmarked. So I have a web browser open and I have it bookmarked to RMS WillCall. And so I bring it up and this is what the screen will look like. And it will ask you to log in and you're using your credentials from Star Plus. So I'm going to put in my credentials here. Click login, and I realized I put in the wrong password. I'm not thinking here. Let me do this again. Okay, that'll be the right password this time. And it'll bring you to the product or to the RMS WillCall dashboard. So you can open this on any computer that has internet access. So you can have this on your pharmacy management system computers. You can have it on a POS computer. You can have it anywhere in the store. So let's just take a quick look at the dashboard. This is what you see when you log in. So we call the packages, the bins, whatever you want to call it, we call them packages. So here's create a new WillCall package. And think of this as whatever you're doing today, if you're using the plastic hang-up bags or if you're just putting them into paper bags and then sticking them on the shelf, however you're doing it, whatever that container is that holds the 3, 4, 5 prescriptions for the patient, that's what we refer to as a package. So this is how you create one, or where you go to create one. This is where you go to update an existing package. We're going to go through this in a moment. This is where you can look up patients. You can do that right up here as well, and we'll do that in a moment. Over here, you see some packaging statistics. So right now, we don't have anything in progress, but we have 2 that have been finalized and have just not been picked up. So these would be the ones that are sitting over on your WillCall shelf. When you're done getting this set up, you should have everything that's on that shelf every package on that shelf should be showing here. And if you click on this hyperlink, it'll actually take you to the packages. So we'll go back here. Then down here, and what I'm going to start with is getting set up. So when you set up the system, very easy. We click locations. This is where your WillCall bins would be. So we start with typically a standard WillCall. This is the location where the vast majority of your products are, or your orders are. Then most of you have a refrigerator. So some of the items will be in the refrigerator. So you'll see that. And then in some cases, I've seen where stores or pharmacies have oversized items that are in WillCall, and they have a little oversized section. So I've set my system up with that. You can click create new and create a completely additional one. You can delete these, edit, whatever you'd like to do. Very simple, quick setup. Containers. So containers, this is the container that holds those prescriptions. So for those of you that are using the hang-up bags, what we would do is have you print barcodes, which you can do. You can see here, you can click print barcodes, and you can print them on an Avery label. Here's an example. This is an Avery label sheet. Let's see if I can get it to not blur, but I guess it's blurring. But this is a sheet of labels that you can print, Avery labels. That holds 30 barcodes. You can print those, and then you can do however many sheets you have the plastic bags for, and simply attach that barcode to that bag. And now when we create the order, you'll scan the barcode on the bag, and then you'll scan the items, the prescriptions into the bag. We refer to those as containers. Now, for those of you who are just doing paper bags today, and they're not reusable, then you can create sheets, lots of sheets of labels. Let's start with 100 sheets of labels, 30 labels each. So that would give you 300 orders. You can print those on your printer with these Avery labels. And then as you take a paper bag to put prescriptions in it, you simply tear the label off the sheet, put it on the bag, and it's just a one-time reused label. When you need 300 more or 500 more or whatever it is, you tell create sequence, and then you tell it where you want to start, label 500 to label 1000, click create, click print, and you're done. Simple as that. Now you can just use the paper bags that you used before and put everything on the shelf. So now that brings the question, why? Why would I even bother with this? For some of you, you're not going to find that there's any reason to bother with it. There are two features, though, that this gives you. The speeds checkout at the register. And the reason it speeds checkout at the register is because let's say that the patient has 5 prescriptions. At the register today, you scan the receipt on all 5 prescriptions. What will happen if you move to WillCall management is you're going to scan those 5 prescriptions into WillCall. And when you go to the register, you're going to scan that barcode that's either on the plastic bag or on the paper bag that holds the prescriptions. And it's going to ring all 5 of the prescriptions up at the register at once without you having to do individual scanning. The second thing it's going to do is this field here, or this hyperlink here. This will tell you how many prescriptions you have in WillCall that are past, in my case, 10 days, but this is customizable to however many days you want. And it'll show you that. You can click on that link, and then you can delete those orders and then return them to stock in your pharmacy management system. Very simple process. Now, in the settings, I just want to show you where that is. So in the settings, you can come down here and you say, however many days that you want that to be. Let's say I want to say 7. So I put in 7 and click save. Now you'll see, and we'll call for over 7 days. So, okay, so that's those 2 setup pieces, and then you have flags. Now, I will tell you right now, flags exists here, but the flags are intended at some point in the near future to be able to show at the register. They don't do that today. So I have 2 types of flags here. I have comments and I have counseling required. You can create your own flags, but when you set this up, this gives you the ability to add this when you're creating your order with the intent of this flag then displaying at the register in the future. And like I said, that doesn't exist right now, but the flags do. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about a few parameters. So I'm going to go to policies first. So this says require all prescription items in a package should be for the same patient. So I have that turned on, so you can't have multiple patients in the same package. That's your choice, though. If you choose you want to do that, you just turn this flag off, and then you can scan family members into the same bag. Require all prescription items in a package to be ready for pickup. This means that depending on the pharmacy management system you're using, the workflow has to say that it's ready for pickup. We can also require that you scan not only the receipt portion of the label, but then you scan the vial to make sure that the 2 match. I have that turned off because I don't have any vial barcodes sitting here, but you have that ability, and you'll see on the screen what it looks like when we scan the actual receipt portion. Require the receipt to be scanned. So I've already said yes to that, and then allow prescription items to be manually verified. Okay, now let's go to preferences. Just a few things here. So the first one is when selecting the WillCall location, and remember that's standard WillCall, refrigerated WillCall, or oversized packages. You require that the person chooses. You don't give them a default. They have to go from the list every single time. You can use the default to the previous selection or default to the selected location. So since the majority of the time it goes to standard WillCall, I'm going to have it default so that it goes to standard WillCall. You may choose that you want to make them choose every time, and that's fine. No, that's not important for you to know. I already showed you this packaging statistics, the maximum days in WillCall before it moves it to that other screen or that other list. And those are really the important ones for you. You do have the ability also, if you want to do birth date verification, you can do that. You can also set the format for that. Okay, so I didn't change anything here. Let's go back to home and let's create a package. So I'm going to click Create WillCall Package. Now, if you're using the plastic hang-up bags, you'd grab one of those bags. You'll scan the barcode. If you're doing a paper bag, then you'll put a barcode from your labels onto the sheet or onto the bag, and you'll scan that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to scan a package. This is and then it immediately asked me to scan the barcodes of the prescriptions. So let me scan prescription barcode. And you see as I scan them, they come up here on the screen. The receipt gets a red check mark that we rescan the receipt and everything looks good and the status looks good. I'm going to show you in a moment what a status that doesn't look good. It'll be a red X. And right now we can finalize, but when you have a status with a red X in it, the finalize will gray out, as you'll see. If you want to look at more detail, you can click here on status. It'll drop down and show you the refill number, the status is ready, the time, date and time stamp, the date of birth, the phone number, mobile number, address, the receipt that was scanned. And then if we had scanned the vial, you'd actually see a column here for vial between receipt and status, and it would have the actual text that was scanned from the vial. You can, at this point, you can delete this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to say, okay, this is it. We'll click finalize. And it defaulted to standard will call. It could be changed. If you had to put it in refrigerator, you can put it in refrigerator here. We'll click save though. And now you'll see that there are 3 finalized and not picked up. Okay, now I'm going to do, before we go to the till and scan something, I'm going to show you a situation where we'll create another WillCall package. Okay, and I'm going to scan a prescription. Okay, so in this case, this prescription shows a status with a red and an exclamation point. You'll notice finalize, you can't click it. When you click this, you'll see the information, you'll see the error over on the right. Fill is not ready for pickup. So in the workflow process in the pharmacy management system, if it's capable of this, then it's saying it's not a ready status, and you've blocked that with your parameter so that it can't be sold. So now you would have to go back to the pharmacy system, figure out why this is in this status, fix it in the pharmacy management system, and then rescan it. Again, keep in mind, if you don't want to hold it up, you can turn that parameter off so that it'll just let it go. But best practice would be to fix it in the pharmacy system. Okay, another situation. Okay. Meant to delete that particular prescription. So now I want to scan one other prescription into this bin. And this particular barcode I scanned, and it says the item not found. So something is wrong. This could mean the interface has gone down, potentially. This should be a very, very, very rare circumstance. Or maybe you scan the wrong barcode, but something that it doesn't know about this prescription. Okay, so those are a couple of the situations. I'm going to go ahead and delete this package completely. So here are my three orders. Okay, so now we're going to go to the till and sell one of these prescriptions. So I'm going to go over to the till screen. This screen probably looks different for some of you than for others. This is the newest till. The layout has changed, obviously. Now the flip charts are on the right. If you have the old till, when we migrate you to the new till in the coming months, this migration will happen, but your flip charts will look exactly the same. They'll just be on the right-hand side, so nothing else will change. Okay, so I have my system set up to log in before every transaction. So I'm going to put my finger on the fingerprint sensor and log myself in. So let's go ahead and scan one of the barcodes for one of those prescriptions. I scan here. Now I have fingerprint, or not fingerprint, but birthday verification turned on in my system. So that is a feature if you didn't know that. You can also, when you turn on birthday verification, you can tell it whether you want the birthday to show on the screen or not. We did this because some people simply don't know the birthday. It could be a caregiver, for instance. You also have the option of determining whether you want to use just the month and the day, or the month, day, and year. We've set it up for month and day because we also find that people don't know the year of, say, a parent's birthday. So, but most people know the day and the month. So anyway, just a feature that if you want to turn it on, you can. I'm going to type in 0704, hit enter. And now you'll note that it rang up both prescriptions from that scan. So, if you're just doing, when you're doing this at the register and there's just one prescription in the bag or two prescriptions in the bag, did you save much time? Probably not. But when you have those patients that have 5, 6, 7, 8 prescriptions in WillCall, that you really start to see the benefit at the register and speeding the checkout process. I'll go ahead and check this out just so that we can show what it looks like on the other end. Do my signature. Okay. So this does work real time. It's communicating with the system real time. And if we refresh here, and my network's got too slow, you'll see that it went from 3 to 2. And so now it's just reduced that real time down to 2 orders. And really everything else is the same. As far as the till goes, the till doesn't care at all whether you use this or don't use it. It just can speed things along, right, if you're doing this in the back end. Of course, they're still getting scanned, so it's just you choosing where in your workflow process you want to do this. And the other piece, of course, is that you can simply click here and it gives you the list of all of the prescriptions or all of the orders that have been there for more than whatever number of days you choose, in this case, 7 days. The only difference, if I go to this screen right now, there's nothing there. You can see all the fields are here, but there's just nothing there. But it would look just like this particular screen. It's the same exact thing. It's just only the prescriptions have been there for whatever number of days, in this case, 7. And at that case, you would go there, pull it off, and then delete it from this list, and then return it to stock in your pharmacy system. There isn't an interface between WillCall and the pharmacy system to tell the pharmacy system that you're returning to stock. But you simply click delete here, it deletes the package, and then you return to stock in your pharmacy system. And that is WillCall by RMS. If you would like to turn this on, just call our support team and they'll get you set up. And if you have questions, you can send us an email, talk to your customer success manager, just call the support line. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.